Cheers to all you beautiful sons of bitches.
I have water. Stay hydrated, everyone.
hmm I'm a degenerate, so it's one
Yes.
o'clock and I'm drinking. Even
No
though
worries.
from what I've some parts of the vlog series, you could say that I never really got out of vacation mode.
You never stopped. You never stopped. He hit a pace and he has since not, or he hasn't stopped yet. So that's obviously healthy.
I don't have a problem at all. Y'all the ones with the problem.
What is it? Quitting's for quitters, guys. Don't ever stop, dude. Don't ever stop.
hmm
Um,
Exactly. Hello, everybody. Who we got
yes.
in here? Sean,
Woo, everyone.
Squippy, Allie, Carl G. All right.
Cheers. Sean, cheers. Man.
Yeah, I remember that when I tried to stay awake for the um no, it was the king's coronation, not the queen's funeral. We weren't there for that. So
No. No, I forgot where I was. I think I was on the beach or I don't know where I was, but
yeah, I basically I thought I could stay awake, but I couldn't. And yeah, I had that problem doing the premiere on SJ's World. So yeah, I I have lofty goals, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
it's at least we tried, right? At least we tried.
hmm
And yes, I guess it is official. Everyone should know Spencer is home.
Yes,
He is home.
I've been home for about a month now.
I personally
Wow.
have absolutely loved those comments under the videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like guys, I don't know if you know this, or you just or fair enough, you found Spencer recently with his vlogs and haven't
Yeah.
understood the build up to the trip. Um,
Right. Right. And like we like to think of everything that we put out as a journey,
yeah,
and we prioritize people that are along the journey with us, and sometimes don't think about that. There's people that have come on recently, so apologies for that.
yeah, and so it's been a long time coming. Like building up towards to the UK, that was our benchmark. That was like our goal. I want to say after really we talked about it before we hit like the 100K mark, but
Yeah.
really after that it really helped, at least as a channel kind of focus, because you want to do landmarks, you want to hit these milestones, and after that we're like, well shit, the next milestone is what, a million, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know that's yeah. So we're like, okay, let's just go and let's set this, and we combined our efforts, and we finally sent Spencer over as an
hmm
ambassador. And
Heck yeah, man! And I had the time of my life.
man,
I
to be honest, I've absolutely loved your vlogs. Like they
Thank
have
you.
been the most watchable. I don't know if that's because like we basically see each other every freaking day, right?
Right.
But
Right.
it was just enjoyable. It's just because I feel like I know where you come from. I know who you are, and I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that you are never, what am I trying to, like, not like pretentious or not over the top. You're just you.
I
You're
am
just an
me.
every man kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm honest, and that's both my blessing and my curse is that I'm honest and I don't hold
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So
So it's been a pleasure to watch all your vlogs, and I've been kind of like sitting in the wings watching them and not really commenting on anything, because I knew that it was going to come to this, like this after action report. This is the breakdown of I have a list of questions, and honestly, we may or may not get to all of them. I doubt it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it just depends on how well what timing goes. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, if you got questions, go ahead.
Well, I feel like I I'll put it this way. Let's just, can I just go all the way back? Let's just go bring it all the way back. What what has helped you get into this vlog mode? Because I feel like that's
Um,
a whole different layer to Spencer. That's kind of new.
well, I would say watching other people do these type of vlogs. one is like Noel Phillips, and like Walter's World, people like that, and going back into other hosts of TV shows that I grew up watching, like Alton Brown and
Hmm.
Anthony Bourdain, and seeing how they conducted themselves, and not forgetting that at the end of the day, I'm talking to an audience. I'm talking to people, and I'm having. It's just the same as having a conversation and
Yeah.
just documenting what I see, what I feel about it, or if. And here's another thing about me is that I don't. I I look at things to absorb information, not exactly to respond. So when I don't have something to say immediately, it doesn't come out. It may come out later. So sometimes I present stuff to let people know it's there and for them to form their own opinion about it. So
Yeah.
I'm just there to present the information at the end of the day.
It was nice, man. It was nice because a lot of the stuff I've seen in this YouTube verse that we are part of, the vlogs a lot of times come off as a lot of them can come off as either too judgmental, not informed, or pretentious. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where, and none of that was in your vlog style, and I really really enjoyed that. And
Thank you.
okay, this is a good question that Gangsum just asked. What is the Weatherspoons game?
Oh
Please
my
inform.
god. Y'all, okay. I think most of y'all know what Weatherspoons is, so I don't need to explain that. For the, I don't know, five of you that don't know what it is, it's basically a chain of pubs in the UK, and it's basically what is preserving pub culture. The pints are cheap, the food is cheap, even though it's pretty much microwave food. It's still good if you're on a budget. So what the um, Weatherspoons game is, or Weatherspoons challenge, or whatever it is. Excuse me. It's a Facebook group. Search Weatherspoons game, and what you do is you take a selfie, post your table number and what pub you're at, and with people can use the Weatherspoons app to send you drinks, food, whatever. And sometimes it's very wholesome, sometimes it gets out of hand.
What
And
what
good
was with the
lord, it get.
banana?
That's what I'm asking.
What's with the banana? Like, dude, I I didn't get that at all, man. I was like, what? Is that like an inside joke? I'm like,
I've
what?
I've heard people getting sent like, I don't know, bowls of peas, like things like that. But luckily, I didn't get
Oh.
that. I got sent, and I think a few of them might be in a chat here, and I know they've commented. I got sent like a burger and fries for one, and like some dirty chips, which is like it's like nachos, but a lot
Yeah,
of pints, and yeah, getting some free drinks. That's basically what it is.
great drinks. But no, I mean
Yeah,
that's really
there he
cool.
is. There he is. Oh my
There he
God,
is.
that's him. That's
I
him.
sent
I'm
you
I'm
the
gonna.
banana. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he sent the banana. Okay. What? How do I show?
That
There we go.
that was
He
so
sent the
awesome, man.
banana.
That was awesome. I feel like I was like everything else below. I was like, where the hell did they just have a like? Oh, he's got the banana. Fuck, that blew my mind. I love that. I love that. That was like the icing on top. It's like everything that you expect to get. Here's a banana. What? Excuse
Yeah,
me. I was like, well done, guys. Well done. Um,
yeah. Oh, good job, RTM. What was I gonna say? Yeah, and because I knew I couldn't, I was a American bitch boy and I couldn't finish them all. Luckily, there was a table next to me that I was like, guys, can you please help me with these? I'm an American. I'm not used to this, and made some great friends in Cardiff. So I guess that's how you make friends in the UK in 2024. You play the Weatherspoons game. You have way too much stuff sent to your table, and you ask the table next to you, "Can you help me finish these?"
I love that.
Boom! Friendship,
There it
maybe
is.
companionship. You never know.
You never know. Um, all right, so I'm not just gonna ask questions that everyone's asking, but I do want to spotlight the Caroline's question. Are you a fan of cider now, and how
I
does it compare
love.
to our cider?
Oh, I love cider. It is delicious. I mean, there's so many different types of cider in the UK, but the one that I gravitated to the most, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a Swedish one that was imported, a
Hmm.
Rig something. I think it's available at a few Total Wines here in the states, but
Oh hell yeah.
I gravitated to that, and y'all's cider game is amazing. I wish we had that in the states.
Now is it like, because you've obviously had cider here in the
Yeah,
US, and for me, for the most part, the thing that throws me off of it all is it's just too sweet. It's like it just tastes like they just dumped tons of sugar in that thing.
yeah, and that's just a lot of American type things.
Yeah.
Is that but you over there you do taste the fruitiness of it,
Okay.
and it's more complex than just
Sugar and apple
a
juice.
power cord of sugar.
Yeah. Because that's kind of what it is over here. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll get to a couple more. What was your favorite? If you could pick, what was your favorite beverage, your alcoholic beverage of choice when you went there?
Oh
Did you
man.
have a favorite that just stuck out? That you're like, I
Oh
know I
man.
can't get this back home, but I love this here.
Man, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I can't remember individual ones, but I think the lagers I had in at Beamish and at um St. Fagans both were very tasty.
Were those
So
in house? Were those in house? Did they make them
I think
there?
they were in house.
Wow.
A lot of the ales that I had, they're usually made in house.
Hmm.
So that's that's something I loved.
So this next one I want to get hit at, because I got to get this question out of the way, and this is just me, like really. How was the weather? Like in general, if you could summarize, I gotta get it out of the way because that either confirms or dispels the rumor that I feel like we all think is fact.
It's not as bad as y'all made it out to be.
Okay.
Granted, when I went in, June, it was apparently one of the coldest starts of a summer in recent memory. It was like between 55, 65 Fahrenheit, about 13, 19 Celsius, and
Okay.
I had my signature jacket on the entire time. I pretty much didn't
Yeah.
take it off.
Yeah.
And
All
it's
right.
funny now. Apparently it's quote unquote hot, even though I actually was talking to someone from Yorkshire a couple days ago, and they said it was so freaking hot where they were. And I checked on the Weather Channel app, and it was only 77 Fahrenheit. I'm like, that is
I
normal
would
over here.
I would kill for that weather, man. Like
Yeah.
oh man, I would kill for that. Man, that's great. Okay, so throughout your journeying, right? Your quests, did you
Oh,
expect, oh yeah, go
oh,
for it.
sorry. Newcastle Brown Ale. That was
That was it?
up there of my top ones. Yes, I had to put that one in there. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You go ahead with your
No, no,
question.
you're good. Did you expect, I mean, I feel like it's different because we've been on this the UK topic for a long time, just trying to absorb as much as possible,
Yeah,
right? And in that, we knew that the UK is expansive, right? It's not just one city. But did
heck
you
no,
know how much traveling you were about to do?
no, I did not.
Okay.
I I was not expecting to walk that much. I mean, I expected to walk some, but I didn't realize how tired it would make me. I I I definitely lost a little bit of weight. Some people actually did point it out that it seems like I am a little skinnier now. So thank you for that.
It wasn't by choice. It wasn't by
It
choice.
wasn't by choice, and it would have been a lot. I would have lost a lot more had it not been for pints and Greg's.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's, I guess it's really is eye opening because on this side of things we can only react to, we're not like videos, not like reaction videos, but like we can only absorb what you guys tell us in the comments.
Right.
So, and we take all these things with a little bit of a grain of salt. and we have to.
Right.
And cheers Dan for hopping in. Um, listen, and so I just feel like the preconceived notions that I had, I'm very thankful that your vlogs kind of uncovered that. And like when they say it is not a how to say this, it's not a commuter friendly area, it's probably because you're going to be walking all the time, and that's just a way of life,
Yeah,
right?
all the cities are kind of built with the idea of being walkable, where you can get pretty much anything you need from walking for like 5-10 minutes, at most. You go to the corner shop, the local pub, the place you work, probably. It's all within walkable distances.
Okay, okay,
And
for sure.
and if you need to travel further, they have good train systems and great coach systems. Coaches are a bit slower, but they're cheaper. The trains are quicker, a little more expensive. Even though I use the Train Pal app to book a lot of off-peak times for
Hmm.
trains, so I was able to get some good deals. So you don't need to own a car, basically, if you live
I,
in there.
I like that though, because over here, like, it's just a stark contrast, guys.
Yeah.
It's a stark contrast. You need to have a vehicle, and if not, it behooves you to rent a vehicle. There's no way to get around this country without that. For real. Um,
Right, unless you're in a big city like New York or
yeah,
Chicago.
and you plan on staying. Like,
Yeah,
that's pretty much, I would say, yeah, you don't need a car for those bigger cities. Um, Gary asked a good question, and it kind of ties into what I wanted to ask. I think he phrased it a little bit better. Did you struggle at all with any of the different dialects, the different accents? Like,
uh,
because it takes me a long time to get into the zone if 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 I'm hearing something that's like a stark contrast to what we've been listening to, right? It takes me a minute to click in. Um,
yeah. To answer your question, some I did, some I. The more north I went, the more intense the accents were. But that's why I picked out places that where we've checked out, entertainers from that
yeah.
area, like Billy Connolly, Jerry Cinnamon helped me in Glasgow. You know, Sarah Millican and Sam Fender helped with Newcastle, the
Okay.
Gallagher brothers with '08 with Manchester, the Beatles for Liverpool. So that's part of why these they did. I picked those particular places. Kind of had a bit of a frame of reference for how people were talking over there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge shock. I feel like um the regular citizen, regular US citizen traveling doesn't really understand how many dialects, how many different accents there are. Like, you think of this one accent, you have it in the back of your mind for some weird reason. You go over there and that just goes out the window. It's like there's so much more. And
Oh
we've
yeah,
we've been very fortunate that we've kind of tapped into a bunch of these different different accents.
oh yeah,
Just in this short amount of videos that we've not really short amount. We've checked out a lot of videos. Just being
yeah.
honest, we've
I
checked out
think
tons
I
of
think
videos.
that's putting it lightly.
Yeah, we've checked out loads of videos. Um, but yeah, no, I think we've you went there with a lot of, I feel like, research kind of ish being done. As far as, it's not so shocking. It's not like, let me see.
It's
Like,
a mix. It was a mixture of what the people in the chat have been saying and doing my own research on Instagram and TikTok of places to go, places to see. So it was a bit of both my own research and what everybody here's been saying.
now, here, let me get to the question I feel like we all want to ask, right? What has been what was your favorite place and why? And what was underwhelming and why?
Oh man. Oh, you're gonna put me in a hot seat
Well,
like
no,
that.
I because I don't think, see, and this is what I love, that you went to every place that you vlogged about, and you did it respectfully, and you did it justice. You know, you went in there with an open mind. It was kind of like, I'm here to experience this place. It's up to the place now to sway me, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you have to do. And I feel like anyone in the right mind would have a place that like, oh, that was awesome. We don't need to go back there. And I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying like what place underwhelming, why? Oh, like fuck, like wow, and why?
The wow factor was definitely the Beatles experiences in Liverpool. And that's a culmination of, the fact that I discovered the Beatles as a teenager. And as I'll talk about in the two videos that I've got made on Tuesday and Wednesday, it was one of the few positive memories I have of my father. And it was getting a computer disc from him with all the Beatles catalog on it. And that's been on my bucket list even before ETS21 was even an idea. So Liverpool was definitely for me, 100%. And I would also throw in there, in terms of like experiences that were like, wow, it's the Liam Gallagher concert, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that kind of speaks for itself. And like the Merrill Walk in Glasgow definitely are three that pop to mind one for me. And I guess the kind of underwhelming one, and there wasn't really too many that I would say were just kind of uh, underwhelming to me, was probably Buckmore Park.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I wasn't in the right mind frame to be go karting at that time, but go kart track's a go kart track. The only special thing about it was, F1 greats had cut their teeth there, and I wanted to go on the same track that they have, and I guess that's the one experience that was just kind of underwhelming for me.
Was that like the only thing it had going for it? It's like, was that? It's like
Yeah,
everyone cut their teeth. This is iconic because of that. Um, and if that's the only thing it had going for it, I can understand. But like you
yeah,
said, that was kind of sort of on the end part of the trip when it was kind of all like all the exhaustion, all the traveling, all the was coming to an end. And so it all kind of fell on you during that moment in those
yeah,
couple hours.
yeah. That's pretty much. And I was just, yeah, the tiredness was all hitting me, and that's when I started to develop my my head cold.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And I feel like since we sent you like as an ambassador, I am obviously open. I'm obviously open to travel. You know, just for me, that's a monumental feat to travel for an extended period
yeah.
of time,
Oh
leaving my
yeah,
wife with my son Alexander. Like that's just a tough sell. Things
it
have
is.
to things have to be checked off a very very long list in order for me to step away. In fact, I'm going to visit Spencer this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. He's coming down. We're gonna have a boys' weekend.
Yeah, and it's going to be great. Just kind of like sort of the end of summer here for us, you know, kind of like the vacation season is kind of winding down, so it's going to be nice just to kind of be able to chill out a little bit.
Oh
But
yeah, 100%.
but oh, because I want to stay away from like the generic questions, like what surprised you most about the UK? You know, like I don't like those questions. Those are very like they're too broad, right? So I'm not going to ask those kind of questions. The There was a vlog, there was a video you did about the nightlife across
Yeah.
the pond
Uh huh.
and how the the what is it the visiting uh recording star Taylor Swift was there, kind of threw a damper on on things for a
I
nightlife perspective.
yeah. Oh my God. I am never gonna let y'all live that down. If y'all are not gonna let me live down the whole Jimmy Savile thing, y'all are not living
uh,
down the whole Taylor Swift thing. You had no issue telling me about the Euros, but didn't tell me about Taylor Swift.
yeah,
Y'all dropped the ball.
dude, that's a pretty big ball, man. Well, granted, no one probably in our community gives a shit about Taylor Swift,
I
but,
know that.
but
I know
still,
they don't
man.
give a shit, and I appreciate
uh,
that. But
yeah,
still, like everybody has access to Google. A lot of y'all walk around. There was posters
that was
everywhere.
It's,
Someone could have said something.
I'm so glad I wasn't with you, man. I'm so glad I wasn't with you. I would have been livid. I was like,
I
oh, I would have been livid. Our neighbors across from the Galactical headquarters used to blast Taylor Swift at us all the time. So
Oh my god.
there is this riff, okay? There is this riff between myself and Taylor Swift, Taylor Quickly. So yeah,
Yeah.
but so so yeah, adults don't care about Taylor Swift. Exactly. I agree with that wholeheartedly, but it can get in the way of, let's say, nightlife. Like, you found, oh, this is a great segue, kind of. I think it is. Uh the the pub life, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Was it everything um was it everything you thought it was going to be, or was it more? Like, what are the what
Oh.
because we do pubs completely different, and you know why, and that's why I kind of want your expertise in this situation. Like,
Oh.
what is
Oh,
it with
100%.
pubs?
It's completely different and much better in the UK because you can actually talk to people. Everyone's not on their phones or in their own bubble. People mingle. They actually, get to know each other, And plus, if it's Wetherspoons, it's cheap pints. But then again, there's also, local pubs that are not Wetherspoons, and a lot of them are older than this entire country. And I would say the dub goes to UK when it comes to pubs.
Yeah, I feel like we can be very isolationist. We're very individualistic when we go out, you
Yeah,
know? And I feel like that sense of just, I guess, just being part of something like community is just lost over here.
yeah. We're very hyper individualistic. In fact, as I was eating breakfast before I came down here to do this, I was looking to see if there's any U.S. Restaurant that does kind of what the Weatherspoons app does. You can order stuff, have it sent to your table to do a Weatherspoons game. I looked like Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Buffalo Wild Wings, Dave and Buster's. None of them have that. It's you can order for either delivery or pickup, not to have it sent to your table, which is just sad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that I feel like that's a big letdown, because that could definitely, you could definitely have fun over here with that, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
a
yeah.
huge win.
Oh
Um
yeah.
Hadvik asked a good question too. What is the oldest thing that you went into?
Ugh.
Like, what that you because as an American, like, just looking across the pond, it's everything. Everything is older than this country. It's kind of like, yeah, no shit. Everything is older than this whole country. So I get it. But what is
Yeah.
the oldest?
I off the top of my head of what I um recorded that I remember off the top of my head is the Man and Sith pub in Bolton. I think that was dates back to like the 1250s or something like that.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah. And that, by the way, I to go back to another question. What is one of my favorite things that stood out to me was definitely Bolton and the Fred Dibna stuff. So I just wanted to add that back in.
I
So
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy your Bolton. I did enjoy that, man. How did it feel? Like, seeing
great.
it, like, I feel it's so unique an experience. Like, we have absolutely been inundated with these videos for the past 3.5 years, and finally getting to experience and see the things that we've kind of like been watching,
Yeah,
like the Fred
yeah.
Dibna, that like seeing where he walked, and that was his area of operation. How did that how did that feel, man? Like, just like,
It's like a piece of history, a piece of real British culture that you can't get in London
yeah,
or any other bigger city.
I get that.
Yeah.
Kind of. I know we're jumping all over the place, but how are the Roman baths, man? Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
that was
yeah. Everyone's like, Roman baths might be a little bit older, a little bit older. That
yeah.
might be the oldest thing.
Yeah. I mean, of the
Sure.
dates that I actually recorded down, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Roman bats are probably older, 100%. They definitely are older.
Yeah.
But that was an intense experience too. Just seeing all the history of just like not only British but also European culture in general. Like, do men think about the Roman Empire? Yes, we do. That's why.
Yeah. You're like, oh
Yes.
damn it! Now it's on my head. It's in my head again. Um,
Yeah.
are you open to Reese's Pieces sponsorships?
No,
No, no.
I'm not.
Talk about
Reese's
kicking it off the
Pieces.
right way, man.
Reese's Pieces are the bane of my existence now, and I love
Uh,
peanut butter. And Reese's are my favorite, American candy. But yeah, Reese's Pieces they can suck a fat one.
oh man. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely a comical kind of on brand start to the epic journey that you're about to undertake. Um
Hmm.
now yeah, I'm reading some of these comments. They're awesome. Uh so out of all the places, the transportation, right? The transportation is what for me what seemed like just absolutely better. I mean, yeah, it had its hiccups, but it looked like you didn't get too hindered by it. Yeah, a couple cancellations, but nothing like insane. It still looked like you moved very freely and
Oh
very
yeah,
like you there was nothing like kind of out of reach with what you were trying to do, you know?
yeah. I would say the like I said earlier, the public transit system much better than what we have in the states. Definitely the trains are heck of a lot better because one, there's multiple train companies in the UK. In the US, we only have Amtrak for the whole entire, um, you know, of country. So, and Amtrak can be hit or miss because all the train lines in the states are owned by the freight companies, and freight companies get priority.
Yeah.
And when cancellations happen on Amtrak, one, there you'd be hard pressed to find them actually giving a reason right on the display.
Mhm.
Where in the UK, they'll if a train is delayed or canceled, they'll give you a reason whether it's someone didn't show up or there's a problem with the train, and they make it very easy to get your money back
That's
if
awesome.
a train is canceled.
You don't have to pull teeth. You don't have to pull
Yeah.
teeth. Now, I think it was no secret to anyone that followed you on your vlogs. The food element,
Oh yeah.
the food element, right?
Yep.
This is one of those other things that, as I was just happy that you got to experience, and I feel like you get to answer this. These questions that we get asked all the time. Like, it's kind of like, well, this is so much better than the U.S. version, right? Stuff like that. And so let's start off with the chicken burger. Let's start off with your
Mm.
rant about the chicken burger, because that
Yeah.
was a that was just an interesting hill right there that you
That's
chose
a
to take and stay in.
it's a chicken sandwich, dadgummit. It's not a burger. Burger it's is with ground meat, not with actual like fillet. That's a chicken sandwich, dadgummit.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Because I'm obviously gonna side with you. No, no shit. That's a no brainer. But it was just interesting to see that. Um, and you got to try a proper fry up, right? A proper.
Yeah, yeah. Odessa Cafe in Bolton. Shout out Adcro. Much better than whatever it is we tried to make.
That's what I was gonna ask. So the food over there, what we've heard on this side of things, and it's kind of like a preconceived, however it is, whatever that word is, notion, preconceived notion,
Yeah.
preconception, is that there's a lack of spice. I know that's a very ignorant approach to that, but how would you how would you rate it? What is that? Is there any fact about that, or like towards that, or is it kind of like an old saying that like
It's complete
bullshit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete bullshit.
Okay.
They know how to season food over there. And the whole uh the idea that food in Britain is bland, that was started by us actually. During World War II, when a lot of us were stationed in Britain as we're fighting in the European theater, Britain was rationing a lot of food at the time, and us, the American soldiers, got the idea that British food was bland. And they took that notion back to the States and spread a very nasty rumor.
Mm.
And that is 100% not true. And for that, I apologize on behalf of all of America for that.
Because most of the stuff you were eating like did not look bad at all. Like granted, remember, food isn't my vice. Like,
Right, right. I'm
believe it
the
or not,
foodie.
guys, believe it or not, guys, food I could do without it. But it looked awesome. And honestly, the how was your first encounter with haggis there?
It was interesting. I mean, I think I may have rated it a little too high of an 8 out of 10. It was more like a 6 out of 10.
Was it
I
because of the pints? The pints?
because the pints, 100%. And I'm willing to try it again in a other setting that's where it's not deep fried and
Mm-hmm.
we have a few pints in us. So
It
um
it took me a little bit. It looked like a burrito. Like it
yeah,
looked. I didn't know. I was like, what? What's
yeah,
happening? It looked like a burrito. I'm like, he's calling the burrito wrong. It's not a. I was like, oh, I guess it's haggis. So
yeah.
that's interesting because I remember on the channel, you're like, hell no, and you did it. That's what it's about, man, and that's what I feel like has really opened my eyes on your vlogs. It's like you actually got to experience all of this,
Oh yeah.
and you brought this feather into our cap on this channel,
100%.
that I feel like not a lot of people in this niche can speak on. Like it's nice to have that you got to experience this. You got to live out there for, oh, what was it, like 3 weeks? It was
Two and a half.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, 16 days.
Would you say, obviously you're going to go back, obviously, guys, that's not a question, at all, but
Yeah.
the length of at which you stay, right, the how long you go for, um would you sort of, instead of kind of trying to get everywhere, would you spend more time in one location
Oh,
and then
100%.
just kind of like do it like that, like, okay, this time we're going to go spend a majority of time in this location, the next time we'll go spend a majority of time in this other location,
Oh yeah.
because I feel like you were traveling a lot.
I was.
like,
I
you
was.
were traveling a lot, seeing a
Right.
lot of things. It was like a breakneck speed, man. Every video I'm like, oh my god, where is he now, I'm like, damn, dude, you just went everywhere. And I
Yeah.
just yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I that's why I tried to have some cities, have like 2 days in some of them, like Manchester, Liverpool, London. But yeah, the better thing would be to pick one location and then do it for like a week. But I knew, here's my problem. I'm an empath, and whatever energy it is that you give to me is what I spit back out at you, and I just can't handle the fact that some people are even right now, some people are giving me crap for not going to certain places. Like, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yeah.
So I can't make everybody happy, and I did
Oh,
a mixture of what people were saying in here, along with what I wanted to do. So
yeah.
I so yeah, but yeah, the definitely just any city in general, no matter where you go, better to have a week and explore it thoroughly.
Would you, I know that in a perfect world, I feel like, yes, I would have come along with you. Do do you feel like the experience would have been a little bit different had you been with someone else? Like, not me obviously. Or like this is like anyone like traveling as a let's say as a couple, would that make everything harder? I feel like I would assume so. I'm asking this because eventually, guys in the chat, I want to bring my family over, and I don't think I could get anywhere near or hit anywhere near the pace of places that Spence hit at all.
Yeah, it would be impossible.
Yeah. Okay.
100% impossible. Yeah, traveling with somebody else, it's a completely different thing. Even if whether it be a spouse, a friend, a child, it makes it 100% different. And because you got to take into consideration their needs and
Yeah.
what they want to do, and some people don't walk as intensely as I do. So
I get that.
for me personally, it was better for me to do it solo. I
N-
mean,
Now this trip, man, as a whole, because I feel like this is what we're sort of aiming for, not just as you on your own channel, Spencer Joyce World, right? Not just that, but us as this footprint. We do want to get up and out of the office, and we want to take the channels, respective channels, outdoors more. Do you feel more confident in your ability to travel solo? Like, has this like boosted your? Not, I almost said ego. It's not ego. It's help me out. Help me out. Your confidence. Thank you. Wow. I can't even think. Boosted your
right.
confidence in actually traveling and seeing the different places like
Yeah,
solo.
100%, 100%. It has. In fact, and I've said this on SJ's World and in a few other places. My plan for the fall is to do a couple legs of a cross country U.S. trip. Not do it all at once, obviously, because that would just be too much. I
Yeah.
found that my limit is about 2 to 3 weeks from this whole UK vlog experience. But I've got different corridors, like the Northeast Corridor, the Southeast Corridor, out west to Vegas and California. But yeah, the initial thought of doing that was with the current political climate, and this is not an invitation to talk politics here.
Yeah.
We will not do that. But I was just thinking, what if things go to shit? Will I need to tick this off my bucket list, and I have the perfect way to justify that now by
Yeah.
doing by knowing that I can do vlogs about it, and having come into a new car, not new, but it's an '09 Subaru, and it has plenty of space in the back that I could just put the seats down and sleep somewhere for the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Now on this on how do I say this? It was reassuring to before I go take it that way real quick. It was really awesome that you got to see some of the people that we talked to in the chats. Like it's
Yeah,
really cool. It's like it's an interesting dynamic that you met up with some of the subscribers of the channel, and it was really interesting to see that.
yeah,
And because we wouldn't be sending you over there without all of us here, you
right,
know
exactly.
and
It's and some of them are in the chat right now,
yeah.
so appreciate
Cheers,
that.
cheers, you guys, for getting them back as well.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, thank you for not doing the whole misery thing or whatever that was, Kathy
dude,
Bates.
oh my god, tell me what that movie has absolutely scarred me, man. That I love
Yeah,
that movie, but that one always hits me. I'm like, oh no, it's freaking creepy, dude. Um,
yeah.
Let me think. I saw one. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good question. That's a good real question, Enigma. Did you ever feel scared? Like, did
I'm
you ever feel like I better get somewhere? Like, I'm not trying to like diss a place. I'm just saying you're there solo. Like, was your sense of being solo heightened at some points?
um in terms of like, did I feel unsafe? I I would say it only happened one time,
Okay.
and it was in Chatham. It was after
Okay.
the Buckmore Park deal, and I was going into the Wetherspoons, and some very hard guys out there were like, I guess there was a bouncer there, and he's like, "Oi, I see some ID," or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and that's when I felt like I might get my butt kicked. But I showed them, and they saw I was from America. I was like, "Oh hey, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "What are you doing in this shithole?" Their words, not mine. And we had a nice friendly chat after that, and that's the only time that I kind of felt uneasy. But that, and just trying to get through customs, and it's like I'm just trying to think what could make it so that I can't get into this country, but it all worked out,
Now,
and it was all good.
now, okay. You know how the over on ETG, over on ETG, we say, "What advice would you give anyone to help us not stand out?" Right? I,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Did they lock you in right off the plane? Did they like that is 100% American, or did you feel like, hey, I'm kind of low key like invisible? Am I assimilated? Do I stand out? Did you stand out? Do you feel like you stood out at any point?
No, I didn't. I didn't feel like I stood out at all.
Yes.
Yeah, but before I get into more details about that, Ali, thank you for the
Yes.
five gifted. Dan, also thank you for
Yes.
the five gifted. So
Of
I need
course.
to get that. The rule is one membership, one drink, and someone else joined earlier, so I've got 11 that I need to
Oh
handle
my
here.
god. There you go.
One, two, three, four,
What is it?
five,
You look northern all the time.
6, 7,
Oh man.
8, 9, 10,
And one more.
11. All right, there we go. We're caught up. We're caught up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't think you were Scottish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In Bolton, when I was getting when Atgro dropped me off, and I was waiting for my train back to Liverpool, someone thought I was a crazy Scotsman, and then I opened my mouth. They realized I was American. I was like, "What? What are you doing in Bolton?" I'm like, "Fred Dibna." It's like, "Hey, this guy's cool."
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Paul asked a good question. How do you rate your interactions in Britain compared to? Oh my god, I just lost it. Compared to here, like
It's about like the '90s in the U.S. Like people still talk to one another. People aren't down in their phones, so you can actually chat to people. So
all right,
I would compare it to the '90s U.S.
all right. Well, you owe
Um,
someone another sip, man.
Ted, man, thank you. Okay, once. Oh god, and headwinds too. Oh
Yeah, there
god.
you go, guys. That's
I
how we
mean,
do it.
continue asking questions, but
All right.
I'll do it. Okay.
Okay, so this is a question. Well, no, I mean, no shit, it's a question. What the fuck are we doing here? Well,
What is
look,
it?
here's the question. How did you find the quality of street food over there compared to street food over here? If you could make a
Amazing.
comparison, amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. Excuse me. Um, the markets are definitely a lot better.
Okay,
I mean, I haven't experienced as many of them in the states as I have over there, but definitely Borough Market. Shout out Kirsty. Um, Shout out Lizzie for Spitalfields, and the other one I can't remember what it is. Also Baltic Market. Those street food vendors, they
so
are
when you say
amazing.
market, I automatically, because I really have nothing to compare to, is it like um is it like a farmer's market? Like how would or what, like when you say market, like I'm is it like the market from Beauty and the Beast when Belle goes into town? Like what are we talking about?
Indoor market or outdoor markets, like your local farmers market. You've been to a farmers market,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so it's like kind of
Yeah,
like that. Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So something like that.
Now you had a fish and chips counter.
Yes,
Okay.
I did. I had 3 plates of fish and chips my entire time.
Where was your favorite? Where was the best fish and chips? Let's just put it to rest right now.
Ooh. I think it's a tie
Uh,
between Swansea and Beamish.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're both really good. Like you can't get a bad plate over there. So, okay,
Cheers,
I gotta
Gary.
give it
And
5 more.
you got
5.
Patrick wants you to chug the can.
All right.
Patrick, yes, Patrick.
Okay. All right. So for that last 5, that who gifted that? Gary. And for Patrick, all right, I'll just finish the can.
Yeah, just finish the can, man. Just go for it, man. Oh man.
There you go. There you go.
Um,
Chris is like, careful now.
hey, right? He's seen a lot of our live streams. He's like, okay, here
Yes,
we
he
go.
has.
And now it's about to start.
Yeah, yeah. Back to the whole fish and chips question. Uh, I am still a firm believer that you need to be looking at the ocean in order to have a good plate of seafood. Having lived in Maryland half my life and being very close to water, particularly in Annapolis, I've become accustomed to very good seafood because we're so close to water around there.
that's that I 100% agree. Like if anyone were to come to the US and go to Omaha, I'd be like, dude, don't bother with the seafood.
Yeah, don't get the seafood in
Don't get
the.
the seafood in Omaha. Yeah, just done. Um, is there out? I'm not trying to close this out, but I'm just saying, look, what would be your advice be to anyone that would like to from because I feel like more obviously more Americans need to travel abroad. That
Yeah,
needs to happen. I'm a firm
yeah.
believer in that. But let's say what would your advice be to go specifically to the UK and kind of do what you did?
Okay. So there's 2 things for that question. One, I want to put this to rest here. Americans, it's not that we don't travel, it's that our country is so huge. It's basically think of every state as its own country.
Yeah.
We travel just within our own country and within our own state. So
Yep.
let's put that notion to rest right there. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with SJ's World this fall.
Mhm.
And also the second part of it, uh, what to do in the UK to not stick out like a sore thumb. Keep your voice down. Don't be so loud. Um, do your research on individual places, not only of the individual place, but also their relationship to another town. Because oh my god, the tribalism is intense.
There's tribalism?
I mean, you did a whole football journey
Yeah.
on Earth and the Nation. Like,
Yeah,
what are
bro.
you talking
Yeah,
about?
but you know what though? That's solid. That's solid advice because I feel like that's very important. That's very important to like to convey to anyone going over. You know what I mean? Like it's just yeah, understand this. Just be a good house guest, and that I feel like I was able to at least take that part out of your vlogs. Like yes, you were just. Did anyone give you weird looks while you were just filming like this? Filming your vlogs, like who is this guy?
I'm sure they did, but if they did, I didn't notice because I really don't care. You
Yeah.
can judge me as much as you want, and that's why I'm an open book when it comes to things like that. I have no secrets. Whatever, judge me.
Did
We don't no nobody gets out of this thing alive.
very true. No one has yet at all. Uh, now, here's a question. I don't think you've touched on a lot of it, or you touched on it at all. But did you see anybody busking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Bath I did.
Okay.
Pretty sure in London I may have. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, there was a couple of great buskers in Bath
Now, were
that I
they
remember, and Glasgow
okay?
too.
Cool, man. So
Yeah,
it's could you did you sit and watch some of their performance, or you were just kind
yeah,
of walking through?
Of course,
What?
like that's my that's what I do.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I asked. So I was like, okay, busking. What I would say, what were they singing, or what were they like? How would you? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, you're the musician. You're the person that has busked over here in the
Mm-hmm.
past, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
did it look like an awesome place to busk?
Oh,
Like,
100%.
okay, okay.
100%.
Now, do you feel like, and I feel like we've touched on this in the past on this channel before, um, do you feel like the audience is more receptive to buskers over there than buskers over here?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because they actually appreciate guitar music over there more so than over here. I mean, there's definitely an audience for guitar music. I mean, country music, that's kind of our thing. But yeah, like more indie folk and, you know, classic rock type stuff.
Okay,
That goes over well over there.
okay. Now, the next time you eventually go over, I feel like it's inevitable. Is Are you going to get one of those work visas so you can busk?
Probably. I mean,
Hell
I'd
yes.
love to at least look into it, you know?
The I don't now, because this is I'm hesitant to ask this next question because I think it.
Don't hesitate. Ask it.
Okay, the in-house music that you were exposed to, right? Like any restaurant, any pub, any place, is it like our normal top 10 garbage over here that just gets recycled and recycled, or is it a little bit different? Does it set the mood better than, let's say, our house music over here does? Now I'm saying house music like in a pub, like they're usually minimal volume, that this today's stupid top 10 billboard hits or whatever it is. Over there, is it any different, or is it kind of the same?
Oh, it depends on where you go. Um, like particularly in Swansea, when I went down Wine Road or wherever that was, there were definitely oonts, oonts, oonts type of
Okay.
clubs. But then again, there were quiet pubs that I went into that actually had good, good music, like guitar music, that I appreciated a lot more. So I'd say it's the same as in the U.S. You know, just there's stuff for all walks of life. If you like the oonts, oonts, oonts type music, then
Mhm.
you can find that. And if you like the guitar music, more chilled out music, you can find that too.
Now, this question will come from Hadvik. Will you go to the UK next, or do you want to visit another country first?
There's a lot of countries I'd like to visit, particularly yours. Netherlands is on my list. I mean, a lot of it is through our sister channel, Embrace the Globe 21.
Hmm.
So on my list now is Germany, the Philippines, Australia, Colombia. There's parts of Canada that are part of my U.S. trip, which makes it a North America trip, I guess. A lot of Caribbean islands. Italy is also on that. Where else? Probably like Thailand. So yeah, there's a lot of there's Ireland. I almost forgot Ireland.
Yeah.
It broke my heart that I had to cut out Ireland from the trip, but yeah,
Uh, now, I feel like you went to see Liam. We built everything up to go see. That was like the moment, but there's also festival season, which I think
right.
is a whole nother experience that has to be a bucket list for you, dude.
Oh yeah, Glastonbury. That's on my bucket list as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even before ETS was a thing.
Oh man, that would be awesome. See, I would get down with that. Not say, guys. Eventually, I will. That's it. The a matter. It's a matter. It's just of when, not if. When I can go over there with Spence. Um.
Yeah, like I've been saying this until I'm blue in the face. Like Daniel has family to take care of. I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all
Yeah.
that before it sinks in.
My priorities are a lot different. A lot different in this life. But what if there's one thing that you would say? What are some of the hidden gems that usually get overlooked by most travelers, most people that want to experience, let's say, the UK? Be,
Um,
I feel like because you experienced more than just London.
of
Like
course.
it
Yeah.
wasn't that, and I thank God it wasn't just that. You
Yeah.
know, uh, but yeah, what are some of the hidden gems you're like, oh my God, you cannot miss this?
Um, well, there are a few, I would say. One for London. In order to see all the sites in one go,
Hmm.
look at the Uber boat, on the Thames. Like you can book it through Uber or go on the get a ticket right then and there. That's a good way to see all the sites without blowing your budget or hurting your legs. So that's a hidden gem, I would say. Other hidden gems, but like Bolton, you'd really need to know who Fred Dibna is before going to Bolton. But also, I'd say Beamish Museum in the North, St. Fagans in Cardiff, and the Mural Walk in Glasgow. The Angel of the North in the Newcastle area, Affleck's in Manchester. Where else? Like a hidden gem. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing a couple. But
Well,
also, like, Spitalfield Market in London as well. Oh, man. I'm sure more people are going to fill in the blanks in the comments.
I mean, there's no way you could have absorbed everything. There's just no conceivable way. There's still a lot of stuff that you've left on the table to see, because it would be kind of weird if you're like, did that, experienced the whole thing, we're good, I don't need to go back. Obviously, you left tons of stuff, probably even where you were, that you couldn't get to,
Yeah,
right?
I haven't even scratched 1/20th of what I want to do over there.
now, now here's another question. Prices. I think this is more of a, okay, let's talk about traveling, and any kind of advice for travelers from the US across the pond, specifically to the UK. What are prices like? I think that's top of the list.
Um, I'd say it's comparable to the US, just slightly less. Not by a lot, but um, if something costs $1, it would be 85 cents in the UK. Let's just put it like that.
Okay.
It's not like a whole lopsided thing like the Philippine peso or Colombian peso like
Yeah.
that. Nothing intense like that. It's like right up there, just slightly under the U.S. dollar. I'm talking about the British pound here.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So just to call, like, it, I feel like that's anywhere you go, right? If you want to spend a shit ton of money, you can find a way to spend a shit ton of money,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I would say they're, like you said, like the meal deals.
Oh yeah,
Were
oh yeah.
they were they truly a deal and worth the value? Because over here we have meal deals. They're like $5, right, for a meal deal. That's some
Yeah.
BS. It is not.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah, like
not.
right now the McDonald's has that $5 meal deal of, a small cheeseburger, small fry and a small Coke, like
Mhm.
and four-piece chicken nuggets. Like that's bullshit right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, a meal deal at whether it be Tesco or Sainsbury's or any like corner shop, like they all of them have meal deals, and you won't spend more than 3 to 5 pounds for a sandwich or a wrap, some crisps, and a drink. Like that's a good breakfast or lunch right there, I would say. And even Greg's, like you won't spend more than 5 pounds on, you know, um, a sausage roll or like a breakfast barm bap, whatever the term is, and
Yeah.
a hot tea or a hot coffee.
Now, as someone that absolutely loves coffee, do you see that there is an emerging, or is there a coffee scene over there across the pond, or is it just
Yeah,
still all controlled by the tea cartel?
Tea is still the main one, although there's plenty of coffee to be had.
Okay.
If you're a coffee lover, you can find good coffee over in the UK. Although tea is definitely king over there.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's what I definitely felt. I feel that 100%. Teas. Are you? I know you're obviously Southern sweet tea, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your thing.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you miss aside from the sweet tea? Okay. Did you ever crave something that was specifically from the U.S. while you were there? I know that's kind of a weird question because you listen, guys. He was only there for a little bit.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, you can't. What do you really miss in 2.5 weeks? Like but was there something like, oh, this would be great with? Oh man, I wish I could purchase this.
I'd say ranch. It's probably the one thing.
Ranch. Oh yeah.
They don't
Okay.
do ranch
I,
over in the UK.
I got that. I got that. Okay.
That's the most white people thing I've ever said. I don't
Everything
care.
fucking
I'm
ranch.
white. I don't care. Come at me.
I love that. Out of everything, ranch. Okay, cool.
I would miss sweet tea as well, but at the same time, I wouldn't. I didn't really think about it too much. I'm only thinking about this after the fact, not while I was there. I didn't miss ranch or sweet tea when I was over there.
Now, now something that kind of surprised me, but it makes sense after you had highlighted it. Um, you got you got carded for buying a Monster energy drink.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because either it's a a policy of like Tesco or individual stores, or it's just a law in Europe. I know they're not part of the European Union, so those laws don't exactly apply. But because laws and regulations over there, you got to be 16 in order to buy Monster Energy.
I mean, I get it. I mean, it's legit poison. But how big was that monster? Like, I can I'm not have an unofficial sponsorship by Monster, which
Ah,
means I just purchase it out of my pocket and they don't give me anything. But
right, right. It's about the same size as in the U.S.
okay.
It's if like maybe like an ounce or two difference, but I think it was comparable.
What about the energy drink variety? Did they have a lot, or was it like no?
I didn't really look into that.
Okay.
I mean they had Prime over there, but then again, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't had Prime even in the states, so I can't
Yeah.
really speak too much on that. But I stuck to mostly tea and coffee, mostly tea because it's UK.
When in
Gotta
Rome. No, I mean, even though you're in
when
the UK.
when in UK. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, I just I that's something that I noticed when I've traveled, like unfortunately being completely addicted to caffeine and needing energy. Um, I've noticed there's a lack of variety. And over here we have a plethora of energy drinks, different
Oh
companies,
yeah.
all this stuff.
Oh yeah. It's like the Willy Wonkas of energy drinks.
Yeah, they have a whole two or three refrigerators at most uh, fueling stations just
Yeah.
for energy drinks. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
let's see what else.
I
Do you
guess we're
think
gonna look.
there's? Real quick. Do you think there's a restaurant or a franchise that you would like to see come over here that you think would do well over here?
Wetherspoons, 100%.
Yeah.
Cheap pints, cheap food. You can, pay it forward there. Bring Wetherspoons to the U.S., please.
There you
Or
go.
Greg's sausage rolls. If they just want to buy up Panera over here and replace all Paneras with Greg's, I would love that a lot.
Yeah. Now you know what, guys? Pure transparency over here. I thought Greg's was almost like a supermarket. I don't know why. The- I know we've been on this for like 3.5+ years, but for some reason it didn't click. I'm like, it's not a supermarket. And Spencer's like, it's like a Panera. I'm like, it blew my
It's
mind.
yeah,
It blew my mind.
it's the same type of food as Panera, except better, with the ambiance of a Dunkin' Donuts, except better.
Okay. 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 Hey, that's all good. That's all good. It's better than here. That's for damn sure. Um,
Space is ace. Are you looking for my OnlyFans?
what?
There's been something
Oh
that
man.
people have been saying about, but I've been letting you take control of this interview, so I'm not gonna let you
What
do that to you.
I will say this. I will say this. Or I will ask a couple more questions before I just kind of stop and fall asleep just because that's what my default is.
Yeah.
Um listen, what were some of the how how did you deal with or how'd you deal with or not deal with jet lag? Like
Just take the
how real of a thing is that?
jet lag is real,
Yeah.
100% real.
Yeah.
And what I did was just take the first day and just see that as a loss, and then recuperate and wake up fresh the next day, because I was awake for about, I don't know, 48 hours ish, something like that. So I just take the first day as a loss and sleep, recover, get at it the next day, and you'll be good.
Yeah. Now, see, I feel like that's the thing. That's the thing that we tend to overlook as people that don't necessarily travel, especially abroad, right? Jet lag, it's legit. Like you lose a day, and then you have to calculate that into your trip. You have to
Yeah.
mindfully put that into your trip
Oh
because
yeah.
what are you going to do? Power through that and be miserable? Like, no, you got to start fresh. You got to be fresh, and I feel like that's something that I'm glad you kind of highlighted that at the beginning of your trip, right? The beginning vlog,
Yeah.
you're like looking like you were just exhausted, rightfully so. But but people that are traveling, they have to bear in mind that you have to take time to travel, like to actually get there and be in the right mind space and not force anything. Um, you said that uh, the last I would say let me leave you with these. Let me ask you these last two questions.
Yeah. And after
Okay.
that, can we take some from the audience?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Give us the
I,
last two, and then
I
we'll
actually I wanted to
go to the audience.
kind of piggyback on kind of like Philip reminded me of a question. The Chinese food over there compared to here. Cuz
Ooh.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
the Asian food there is just so much better than the US, whether it be Chinese or Thai or Indian. Oh my
Okay.
god. That is like, because what I've heard, and when I mentioned it in the vlogs, is that Britain has a much closer tie to a lot of Asian countries than the US does. And
Mhm.
it just made everything so much like traded information and at the spices, all the recipes, and again busts the myth that British food is bland. They know how to season their food. It's just the Americans did y'all dirty in after World War II in that regard. I mean, all other regards, we we worked together and to our common goal. But in that regard, we definitely did y'all dirty.
Yeah, and what about the other side the other side? What about Mexican food? How's
I
their
didn't
Mexican cuisine? Did you have any?
I didn't try Mexican food because I just didn't trust it.
You
Like
can't see
it
Mexico from the shore. Don't have their Mexican. Same rule as seafood.
right, right. I can't get to Mexico in a car from the UK. That's why I didn't trust it. I
Smart.
mean, I
Smart.
I'm open to it next time because I got a lot of the um what's the right term? The necessary things out the way.
Okay.
That way now I'm open to see if Britain can compete with Mexican food. Just like I know America has yet to be able to compete with Indian food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
I
Indian
bet it's
food,
awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I know there's cheaper places I could get it than Dishoom in Manchester or London or anywhere else,
Nope.
but do that next time.
So let's open the floor. That I feel like I've spent an hour grilling Spencer. So
You
now
have,
it's your guys' time.
yeah, yeah. I
Go
I
field some questions.
I think the biggest thing people have been asking is my nights in Glasgow.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wrapped that rascal up. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna be having to come back in 9 months' time. I don't do that.
There you go.
Um,
Smart move.
I'm a smart man. In some regards. In others, I'm not. I'll fully admit it. Let's see. Sausage roll or steak bake? Sausage roll. I mean, they're both great. It'd be like, picking your favorite child. But if you forced me, I'd say the sausage roll.
Do you think the trip would have gone any better with adult supervision?
Hell no! Adult
Oh,
supervision?
oh man.
Oh man.
Oh,
You're still scared by the hot tub scene.
scarred. Scarred.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I love that though. You know,
Yeah.
that was the most I've seen you relax, and I was happy. I was
Mm-hmm.
happy that you were able to relax for a bit, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You know a lot of y'all like that. Y'all like seeing that hot tub scene in Newcastle? Come on now.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
oh Chris, how is the Philly
Yeah.
cheesesteak compared to the U.S.?
Delish, Chris, thank you so much for that recommendation. That was awesome. I knew some people might come at me because I'm trying American food in the UK. That was a great recommendation. Thank you for that. Uh, like crispy onions on a Philly cheesesteak, and also like on a few burgers, both of the beef variety and the chicken variety. That was an eye opener as well.
Hmm.
So don't knock that until you try it for the non Brits in the
Crispy
chat
onions.
here.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Also wanted to highlight Stephen B up in here. He is the man that showed me all of the Beatles sites in Liverpool, and for
Yes.
that I am eternally grateful. If you need to maybe to help you hide a body, I got you. I will be on the next plane over.
Yes. There you
Yeah,
go. Um.
cream on my Wimbledon straw. Ah. I say one thing about my sex life, and that y'all just come at me.
Run with it. Well, you expected that. You expected that. I
Yeah,
expected
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Kirsty
About the
asked. Kirsty asked, "How many times you get lost, and how many of us got you lost when you met up with us?"
well, Kirsty, you tell me. You're the one that got us lost the first day.
Oh, I love that, dude. I love
Yeah,
that.
literally, like I was trying to walk her back to her tube station, and we got lost like 3 times.
What?
Me trying to be a gentleman, you know.
Do you know where we're going? No. Well, I sure shit don't know where we're going because I haven't been here before.
And here I was, jet lagged as hell,
Uh,
trying to trust
great.
Google Maps, trying to make sure we got to our place.
uh, man.
Uh, chips or crisp, chips or fries, all of them. Any potato product that is fried, whether it be very thin or very thick. Like, as long as it's salted properly. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's very true. That's very true.
Simon,
Um,
probably. Yes, I will. Um,
man, that needs to be an option. I don't think I've ever seen that as an option, but
yeah.
it just sounds right. Like
Yeah.
it sounds normal. I don't know what it is. It
Yeah, yeah.
sounds normal. Why does that's not a stretch to go out on there on that
Yeah.
limb?
Yeah. Crispy onions, like only real application I can think of where it's widely done is green pea casserole, which is kind of a Thanksgiving style side dish. So I would say that's the only application that we use it widely, but that needs to change, and we'll make sure that changes. Ooh, yes, Steven, tell me about the Cavern Club. Oh my god, yes. That was so much fun. As a big Beatle maniac, seeing all the uh, Beatles type things on the walls, and, having looked up as much Beatles stuff as I have, it was just, oh man. And then the band there, Playing all the Beatles tracks there. Oh my god, that was so much fun.
How did the Chris asked how did the co-op arena stack up against big US venues?
I'd say it's comparable. There's a few places where they definitely triumph over US. Like you could pour your own pints over there.
That
Granted,
that was cool.
granted it's £9, but my god, that's stadium pricing for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is dope. I saw that. I was like, get out of here. That I if I did that, if I could do that, I would be invincible. Like that would be the last you ever see me if I could pour my own pint. Like it was, oh, here
Yeah.
it is. What? Hell yes. And you'll never see me again.
Yeah, exactly. Space Ace, I could definitely tell you it wasn't a man. Trust me on that one.
What?
Hmm. Oasis Central. First of all, thanks for that follow on Instagram. Favorite LG song. If you're talking solo, probably Wall of Glass. I mean, we're getting a little off topic here, but the fact that Liam played Half the World Away at the gig, I did not expect that at all.
Hmm.
Or Lock All the Doors, kind of the Oasis demo version. Oh, what else? That was a shock. Like playing all of Definitely Maybe. That was amazing. And then also to open the show was Liam's son's Jeans band. I can't remember what it is. It starts with V, and then Cast was also there. That was a great ass show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean MC, how did you find the British drinking culture?
Great. Y'all
I
know how
feel
to
like we
do
knew
it.
that. I feel like we knew that going in. Like before. Like, oh man. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I say that as I grab another beer.
Oh man.
I don't know what the hell is a peep show. We'll find that out on Thursday.
Boom. And I
Since
guess
I don't have any other ways I can milk this whole UK trip after aside from the two videos that are coming out tomorrow and Wednesday, as well as the marathon over on SJ's World. I don't know how else to milk this.
yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna cut this up too, and I'm gonna put this over on Aries in the Nation.
You do that,
Because
brother. You
yeah,
do that.
we're gonna get because I mean the more people need to. I feel like more people need to see your vlogs because they're very enjoyable and they're down to earth and they're very relatable. Like
Thank you.
like if you want to see and hear someone freaking normal and down to earth travel. And like, how would you do traveling? That's what I felt like when I was watching the vlogs. It's like this is how 90% of us would travel, you
Right,
know?
right. And that's what I want to do is kind of ground travel in reality and teach people how to do it affordably as well.
Yeah.
Cuz travel especially for Americans, I feel like that people think it's out of reach and I want to bust that myth that it's out of reach. It's not.
Yeah.
Particularly not just within the United States but also the world. That is my plan for SJ's World. So, if you haven't, it's in the pinned comment. Go check that out if you haven't already.
Oh yeah. Johnny Babylon. How badass are British pound coins?
Oh, they're awesome. And the fact that you can, if you, like, with coins in the US, they aren't worth shit because, everything, inflation. That, again, not opening the floor for a talk on that. That's political stuff. We don't do that over here. But yeah, the fact that if you, they look really awesome, and I don't have any in my hand. I don't know why I'm just pointing
Yeah,
at
you're
my
just
hand right
like
now.
you're just holding your hand out like this. Just
Exactly.
use your imagination.
Yeah, yeah, they look awesome. And if you save them up, you can buy lunch with them. And you
You
can even
heard
buy
it here
dinner.
first, folks. You heard it here first. Save
Mm-hmm.
enough of those up, you could buy lunch.
Exactly.
Um,
What
uh,
food would you, as a businessman, do you think you could take off in the U.S.? Probably Greg's. And yeah, Greg's.
I feel like there's a
Sausage
good
roll.
place for that. There is a void in that where it's not necessarily like drive through, and it's not. But someone needs to rival Panera in that space.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Knock Panera off of their
Yeah,
pedestal of baked goods and sandwiches.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh Travel with Carl Pilkington, I would tear my hair out. Hell no.
I couldn't imagine you two like together. Granted, I couldn't imagine me and Carl together. I feel like I would definitely buy him a pint. I couldn't travel with them.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
don't know. I
that's for
don't know
damn
how
sure.
Suzanne deals with him.
Don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, Mark, of course I did. Like, come on. Let's see. There was another question in here that I wanted to get at. Oh, chocolate. Y'all know how to do chocolate. Um, I mean, my go-to British candy sweet is Wisp of Gold, and I was able to get plenty of that.
oh yeah.
And in Glasgow, not only did I find some of the best hot chocolate I've had in a minute, but I also found some chocolate for Holly that I'm gonna send back with Daniel this weekend,
Yep.
along
Yep.
with a few other things over
Hell
here.
yeah.
This is a Paddington Bear for Alexander. This is a cap for Daniel, and a pint glass for
Yes.
Daniel.
Yes. Properly pilfered.
Heck yeah!
So
Shout out to Lizzie for that one.
it's awesome.
Hey, we've been talking about both St. Fagans and Beamish. Like, did you miss that?
Yeah, did oh no, here it is. Stephen asked a good question. Stephen Knight. What do you make of the road system compared to American grid road systems? I feel like you could offer a unique point of view because you were a bus driver, and I think that's a little bit of insight.
Uh, Less potholes, I'd say.
Nice.
More speed cameras.
Speed camera.
So
They got speed cameras.
a lot more than the U.S.
Oh wow.
There's a few of
Okay.
them, but my goodness.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Hadwich. Oh well.
Eat well, Hadvig.
Yes, eat well. Yeah, Mark. That's another thing. Is again that goes with my fear of stranger danger, and there's no strangers around here. Just friends you haven't met yet. But at the same time, I didn't pull out my full itinerary because I didn't want crazies to find me and stalk me.
Yeah.
It was for my own safety.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The ice cream.
Ice cream is a replica of your neighbor's shop. That's
Nice.
awesome. That was some great ass ice cream. So I'm sure the neighbor's shop will be just as great.
What was your final pint count, dude?
61.
There you go.
Some
There you
days
go.
I wasn't drinking on like one or two of the days. I mean, not intensely. There wasn't a time that I just sat down and just tried to, go, 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 go like that. Aside from the Wetherspoons game, that's it. All right.
It's that's interesting. You're like, let's go blind tonight and just pound them. No, I didn't think that. I didn't think there was that. But it's kind of cool that the Wetherspoons game evolved into making those friends, making those acquaintances, opening those doors. Because I think that's something that you really we could really do with over here. The Wetherspoons game, the concept for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Did I get dizzy on roundabouts? I mean, there's roundabouts here in the States, so
Hell yeah.
I'm used to that. So I don't know where y'all getting the idea that we don't know what that is.
Yeah. Spaces Ace, who can drink more, Spencer or Dan? Probably Spencer, guys. And I'm not yeah, proudly.
I'm three. This is my third beer of this streams, and this is how I feel right now. So
yeah,
61 sounds like a decent night out.
That's a decent night out. Even though my night started 15 days ago.
Again, I'm an American bitch boy. And I haven't been drinking since I was 5, like a lot of y'all have been saying.
Facts.
You have.
Facts. Oh man.
Space, it does not burn when I pee.
Huzzah!
I wrapped that rascal up.
It's a successful round trip, guys. When it does not burn.
Exactly. And in fact, I do have a little tip for the single fellas, but I probably won't say it on here. All I will say is, when you have some time, Google Drake hot sauce incident. That's how I keep. That's how I keep from making sure there's no other Spencers going around.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Smart, genius move. Um,
The
and yeah,
banana was comedy gold. Yes.
if guys, if the planets align, of course, I will rock and roll with Spence. You know,
Yes.
if the planets align.
Right. I mean, obviously, if in a perfect world he would come with me, but I just have more get up and go with
Yep.
me as a single fella. That's my main goal is making sure Nana is okay and Bella
Yeah.
is okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, man. No, it was really good, guys. Like, and I'm glad that you put your compilation on your channel.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you.
like that way you guys can watch that without
All in
hindrance.
all in one fell swoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which stereotypes have been busted? Uh, that the food's shit. That y'all are dangerous. You're not. What else? That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But y'all, y'all cool. Y'all awesome. I mean, we knew that from the 3.5 years of doing reaction content,
Yep.
but that just kind of solidified all of that.
Yep. Man, well, listen. This has been obviously this has been fun, man. I'm
Yeah,
glad
man.
I'm glad that you got a chance to do something that not a lot of people can do. Not a lot of
Heck
people
yeah.
do, especially in this in this space. You know, we're I feel like we're some of the few that have gotten up and gone over to see what was happening over there,
Exactly.
especially doing reaction content. So it's been a blessing, and our community here is a blessing to our channel, for sure. That allowed
100%.
us to go and see. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Even when people like Andrew are trying to pit me against Manchester and Liverpool, I'm
yeah,
not playing that game.
yeah,
Mm-mm. But
exactly.
I don't know. We want to wrap it up here, Dana man.
Yep, yep. I
All right,
I
buddy.
still have to go out there and be a father and a husband and all this stuff, man, and chores, household duties.
100%. Well, y'all, thank you so much for hanging with us for about an
Yes.
hour and a half. Hope a lot of questions that you had have been answered. And, see y'all tomorrow and Wednesday for a couple top 10 lists. And then Thursday is when reaction content will come back to ETS.
Yep.
And also subscribe to my channel, Spencer Joyce's World. There is a link in the pinned comment in the chat.
Yes.
That's where all my travel stuff is going to reside going forward. Any
Yep.
other final thoughts before we head off, Dan?
No, no. It's just that big shout out to the community that we have on this channel. You know, like
Yep.
we always grateful, always blessed, always feeling blessed.
Heck yeah.
Again, I always every time we accomplish some of these I guess these marks, these moments, it's like we wouldn't have done that without everyone that has built this channel. And
100%.
we're
It's
never
really,
we're
it's
never
the
going to get too
community.
big, and we're never going to get too big enough to or big enough to like forget that. It's
Too big for our britches.
yes, 100%. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Cheers, y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for changing our lives.
yes,
Wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace that suck.
and unplug.